One Night with
Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay, time to do One Night with Olivia Rodrigo. Make some noise in the studio. Yeah, baby. Hi, Olivia.
Hey, how's it going?
It's really good. Welcome to London. Welcome to the BBC. Welcome to Radio 1's Future Sounds and One Night with. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
It's great to have you. And before we get stuck into anything, you're going to bring us 4 choices in just a second. But we've got to talk about this brand new album, Guts, that you have on the way. And we go from sour to guts, one-worded titles, all capitalised, very kind of, I suppose, emphasised points, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it almost feels like perhaps you're perhaps building the pillars of being young with these albums in a way. Because
Wow.
it takes, a bit of sourness in your body when you're young, doesn't it? It takes a bit of guts as well.
Building the pillars of being young. I love that. You're a poet. That's great.
Thank you. That's now you and Julian Casablancas from The Strokes that have called me a poet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
I'm
thank
in
you
good
for
company.
that. But does it feel like that when you're making the album?
I mean, yeah, definitely. It's definitely me chronicling my youth and me figuring out all of these emotions and, who I want to be in this world. And I think all of my songs are about that. And so, yeah, I think it definitely is a vibe of being young.
Bad Idea, Right, the latest single, I love. And I love how much it contrasts to Vampire, actually. It shows that you've really gone from one extreme of kind of being so strong in terms of maybe a breaking down of a relationship to maybe the weaknesses of it as well and all the emotions that you go through. And particularly, actually, I like the drama of it and how you bring the audience in when you're, like, seeing him tonight. A bad idea, right? Like, it's kind of the question to the audience, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah. I saw like a TikTok the other day, and someone said, "Wow, this feels like a FaceTime debrief with your best friend, like after you did something really bad." And that was definitely the vibe. That was what I was going for.
Yeah, most people don't really want to be bought into the drama, do they? But you're kind of giving them no other opportunity.
You have no choice. No
Absolutely.
choice. I'm forcing you to listen to it. It kind of started out as a joke. I was in the studio with my friend Dan, and I was telling him this story of this crazy, regretful night, and he was making fun of me, and he goes, "My brain goes, ah." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, whatever, you're poking fun at me." And then we made it into a song.
Great.
Yeah.
I suppose maybe when you're in the studio, especially if you're maybe Olivia Rodrigo, big pop star Olivia Rodrigo, it's like kind of pressure to make sure you're making big hitting pop songs and you're delivering all the time. But I'd imagine you probably need to make sure the environment continues to stay playful and relaxed in order to do that.
Completely. Yeah. I mean, it never works out that way. I feel like when you put pressure on yourself to make a song that's big and huge and something that everyone will love, it's always the worst song you've ever made. All of the best stuff kind of just comes from you having fun or trying to express something that's important to you,
What is that environment like? You were talking about Dan there, who you like to work with. Do you welcome your friends into that environment? How relaxed do you keep things?
I mean, honestly, this album, Dan and I are such close friends that sometimes we're like, okay, we're getting a little too relaxed. Like, we just hung out all day and ate tacos, and we were supposed to be writing songs and recording them, So we made some of the album in New York City in a new place to try to kind of bring us out of our comfort zone.
What was the taco flavor you went for?
Oh, I'm a big chicken taco girl.
Yeah.
I love like a bean, egg, and cheese burrito too, like
Nice.
a breakfast burrito vibe. Can't go wrong.
I like it when I go to Los Angeles and I have the breakfast burritos. They're a game changer. They just don't do them right over here.
LA tacos and burritos are unbeatable.
I get berated for taking chorizo tacos as well.
Oh.
Like, why is that a bad thing?
That's not my thing, but it is very good.
Everyone says
sorry,
that. It's
I'm
not my
sorry.
thing, but oh my God.
I respect it though.
Thank you. I mean, being human feels like a very big focus of this album in general, perhaps.
Yeah.
Right? And kind of showing the realities of being young and working through relationships.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I listen to this album, I just hear myself making all of these mistakes and rising from all this disillusionment that I've been feeling in my 19th year and kind of just sorting through those feelings. I think that's definitely the thesis of what I was trying to express in the album, I suppose. This era of my life, I've really learned how to rise above and use it as an opportunity to be better, I guess. I don't know. It sounds like I'm on a self-help kick or something, but that's just how I feel.
That's what music's all about, really.
Yeah.
It's just therapy at the end of the day, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
And another bout of therapy and guts on the way from Olivia Rodrigo. The brand new album is coming. Let's hear the latest single from it, and then we'll get into One Night with Olivia Rodrigo. This is Bad Idea, right? Radio 1's Future Sounds. It's One Night with and Olivia. I need you to pick songs, 4 songs to be specific, that maybe soundtrack house parties or crying in your room or your perfect headphones moment or maybe festival all-nighters. Songs that have soundtracked those types of moments. But before we get into the picks first questions we always ask out here on One Night With, are we staying in or are we going out with those choices?
We're going out. I feel like...
Yes!
Yeah, putting out Bad Idea Right put me in a little bit of a going out mood. So we're having all the hype up music tonight.
Yes, we're being mischievous, we're going out and we're causing trouble and making mistakes and not being judged for it.
Yes.
That's what's happening. Going out with Olivia Rodrigo, if you were leading the charge, what would it look like?
Okay, I mean, music is a very big part of going out for me. I think the most fun part of going out actually is just getting ready with your friends and driving to whatever party you're going to with your friends. Like that's peak for me. Okay, should I get into it?
Sure, yeah. First pick. I mean, what goes on the playlist maybe when you're getting ready?
Yeah, when I'm getting ready, I think the song Bad Girls by MIA. You know this song?
Oh, yeah.
Such a good one. I love MIA. I just remember the first time I listened to her. I was super young, just listening to her the first time and being like, whoa, music can sound like this. This is the coolest girl ever. And so my friends and I always play Bad Girls. And it's also the best music video of all time.
It's a great choice.
So
it makes you feel big and bad.
Yeah.
And powerful. It's a
Live
tune.
fast, die young.
Absolutely. That's what we're doing tonight with Olivia Rodrigo. One Night With. The first choice is MIA and Bad Girls. MIA and Bad Girls on Radio 1's Future Sounds. It's One Night with Olivia Rodrigo. Olivia hanging out with us right now, picking the music for the next 4 tracks. MIA and Bad Girls was the first choice. Before we get into the next one, Olivia, you are someone who has kind of spent their whole life in front of the camera. But it'd be interesting to maybe know how you find relaxing and where you find that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm such a homebody and such an introvert. I feel like the most relaxing thing in the world to me is just staying in and watching a movie and reading my book and like being by myself and talking to myself in the mirror. I don't know.
Are you one of those introverted extroverts?
I mean, yeah, I think that's something that COVID taught me. I used to think I was a pure introvert, and then I was indoors with like no one to really talk to for like a year, and I was like, wow, we all get so much energy and so much inspiration from being around other people. So
I find I'm one of those people who, if someone was like, come on, let's just go out, like last minute, you've got half an hour to get ready and go, and I'm like, I couldn't think of a worse proposition for you to give me right now. I'm in my pants on my sofa, like you said, watching films, eating snacks or whatever. But once I'm out, I feel like I'm in my element.
Yeah. You just need that little push.
You just need to push over the edge, don't you? You need that. Who's that friend for you?
Ooh, my best friend Iris is always down for a good time. Yeah.
Shout out Iris.
Who is it for you?
Who is it for me? It's probably my friend Jake. And when we go out, we put on other personas. Once he was like, oh, you got to pretend you're the owner of the largest chicken shop in London.
Oh my God.
And you just have to be that guy for the whole entire night.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
My friend Iris actually does the same thing.
It's so fun.
It's so much fun. The last time we were in England, we were at some Brits after party, and one of my friends was introducing someone to Iris, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just getting engaged. And he goes, oh, that's so funny. Iris is a jewelry designer. Iris has never designed jewelry in her life. This guy was talking to Iris for an hour and a half about what kind of ring he should get his fiance, and she's like making up all of this stuff, like totally like nothing about it was true, but it's so fun.
I think it's quite interesting because then people kind of go along with it. If you're convincing enough, people go along with it, and you realise how gullible and silly people are, and that they'll literally believe anything.
Yeah, I would fall for anything. You could tell me that you were a jewelry designer, and I'd believe you. You got nice jewelry.
Yeah, I got some bling.
Yeah.
I guess those high times, though, those good nights, they probably have to contrast with lower moments as well. And for you, in those lower moments, what do you find yourself turning to?
I definitely turn to music a lot. Music definitely helps me put a finger on exactly how I feel. I call my friends, I call my mom. I'm always talking to my mom. She hears all of my problems first before anyone else does. It's a classic mom thing, like, oh, don't be on your phone so much. Oh, you should, sleep more. Maybe you'd feel less anxious, like classic. But I mean,
and she's
it is
not
true
wrong.
though. Growing up is realizing that it is actually your phone. Like that's actually what's making you depressed.
It literally is. Let's get another music choice from you.
Cool.
Another track.
Okay.
One Night with Olivia Rodrigo. Where are we going?
All right. So on this tip of going out, I love playing songs in the car. Some of my favorite moments of my whole life have been with my girlfriends, windows down, playing songs. And my favorite song to play recently is the song Bulletproof by LaRue. I used to listen to the song all the time when I was in middle school, and I just rediscovered it recently, and I think it's amazing.
This is actually a bit of a traumatic song for me.
Oh, why is that?
When the song first dropped, everyone used to make fun of me looking like LaRue.
Wow, I see it. I see it now.
Stop nodding.
I see it.
I don't look like LaRue.
Have you always had the red hair?
Yeah, I'm naturally ginger.
Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of got the LaRue vibe very, very early on.
Not a bad comparison.
It's okay. I'll just kind of turn it down. We'll come back when it's over. No, this is a great song. I love this tune and a great choice. Olivia Rodrigo and One Night With. This is LaRue and Bulletproof. It is One Night With Olivia Rodrigo tonight. Talk us through that song, because, I mean, that's been through many different incarnations now.
Yeah.
Hasn't it?
I usually am not like really a remix girl, but that is like my favorite remix of all time. I think it's incredible, and I love the yeah, yeahs, and I think Karen's a badass. I think she's awesome.
Yeah,
so.
it's timeless as a remix.
Yeah, it's so good. Never fails to make me want to dance.
Honestly, even now, you go to a festival and DJs will drop that thing as a really kind of high point of their set.
Yeah.
Did I hear correctly in an interview recently that you were saying that you loved heavier music, or you used to love heavier music when you were younger?
Yeah, my parents love that stuff, so I grew up on it.
Okay,
but
interesting.
I don't know.
What kind of stuff?
Like, I love like Riot Girl punk bands. Like, nice. I love like Hole and bands like that. I don't know. That's the kind of stuff my mom always put
Hole, Garbage, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. When you kind of growing up and you had that music around you, do you think it had an effect on you anyway? Did you kind of hear it and go, oh no, I hate it, it's too loud, or that kind of thing? Or did you resonate with it?
No, I always loved it, and I think that's, can maybe hear it a little bit in my music today. I just grew up loving all of that stuff. I love stuff that gets loud.
So you kind of went from a loud childhood growing up with your mum and dad and then playing loud music to almost a loud lifestyle, especially I'd imagine with the Sour Tour as well. What were some of those great places that you visited whilst on tour?
I mean, honestly, and I'm not just saying this because I'm in the UK, one of my favourite shows I ever played was Glastonbury. It was so powerful.
And you kind of stepped up there and really owned it massively.
Thank you.
How did you feel when you stepped off that stage?
Like on such a high. It was such an incredible experience. I mean, there's so many people at Glastonbury. I can't remember how many people they said were there, but it was...
It's like 200,000 or something.
Yeah, it was something obscene, like something crazy. And I just remember running off of stage and like screaming and going to hug my friends and like running up and down in the mud. That's what I remember.
I smashed it, basically.
Yeah,
nice. Well, Olivia, it's been such a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me and all your great questions. I appreciate it.
One Night With Olivia Rodrigo. We've heard MIA Bad Girls. We've had LaRue Bulletproof. We've had Yeah Yeah Yeahs Heads Will Roll, the A-Track remix. It has been a watertight playlist from Olivia Rodrigo tonight, and you have one more choice.
Oh, yes. Last but definitely not least is one of my favorite songs. I love it. Icona Pop and Charlie XCX.
It's a banger. Olivia Rodrigo, thank you so much.